Hey, what up guys, it's Insanity Bawk here, and today I'm going to be showing you how to make a pretty legit GameBattles logo in about, 10 minutes. And it'll help you a lot in the future and just learning how to make logos. But right before I show you that, I'm going to show you just some news on my channel. And I mean, it's doing pretty well, it's got 115 subs. But the free graphics, I'm going to have to stop that out for a while, because I've just got so many. Let me show you in my inbox. I just have pages and pages of requests from people, and I mean, it's getting pretty crazy. I can't keep up with it. I've been gone the past 2 weekends, and I'm going to be gone this weekend too. So for right now, that's closed unless I know you or you have a decent number of subs. And I'm going to open that up probably in a week again, so don't worry. It's not a permanent thing. And now let's get on to my video where I'm going to show you how to make this logo right here. Okay, so we're going to be making this logo, and what you're going to do first is go to New, and then set the side to 300, and then the height to 200. Width is 300, height is 200. Hit OK. And there it is, and I'm just gonna move this to the center. And what you're gonna do is make a new layer, which is down there, and then I'm gonna go to the paint bucket tool, which is right there. I'm guessing most people know that, but if you're new to Photoshop, that's where it is. And then click this color, and you're gonna drag it. You can drag it around to choose your color, and we're gonna make it black, and just fill it in. Just click, make a new layer now. And what you're going to do is select this oval tool up here, and then where it says feather, type in 30, and we're going to centralize it like that, probably a little more over to the center. Okay, and then we're going to go to the paint bucket, then pattern, and I have a hexagon pattern which you can download online. I'll probably put a link in the description. And we're just going to fill that in, and what that tool does, the feather, lets it fade out like that. And we're going to make a new layer and put it underneath, and we're going to change this color. I'll say blue, that'll look pretty good. And my bad, yeah, don't forget to change it back to foreground when you use the paint bucket again. And it's blue now, so what we're going to do is put the opacity, which you click this layer, and then there's the opacity button. We're going to slide that down till it's just barely visible that those hexagons are there. I'll say there, and that's 23% what I put it as. And then the fill, I'm going to slide that down so it's not as blue, it looks more subtle, and that's 35%, so we'll do that. And now we can go to select, deselect, and now we're going to make a new layer. And we'll do our text now, which is the text tool, which is the T. And let's look for some text. You can download a lot of these fonts. They really make the GameBattles signatures, so you can look at duffont.com. They have thousands of free fonts. I'm going to use the font BD Bardust for my main text. And we're going to set it, I'll set it at a little bigger than that, 36, no, 48, let's see how big that is. That looks good. And I'm going to make that, we'll make that a nice teal. That'll look good with the blue. I forgot to click. You gotta highlight it and then change the color up here. So, nice teal will look good. And now I'm going to move that around, probably a little higher. Okay, and that's good. Now we gotta apply some text effects, because you don't want just some boring text like that. And I have some styles I made from previous text. Oh, my bad. Need a drink, sorry. And you can do anything. I mean, there's like neon. It's really just, you gotta get creative with this. And once you know the interface, it's pretty easy to do. So what we're going to do is, I'm going to put a drop shadow on and keep the original settings. And then I'm going to put a stroke. I'm going to set the color to white. And then the size is only going to be 1. So it's a small stroke. And we'll do a gradient overlay of Oh, that's a blue gradient, so let me exit out of here for a sec, change the color back to black. And let's see. Gotta make a gradient of that. One sec. There we go. Okay, so now I'm gonna go back to gradient overlay and hit this gradient right here, which is the black to alpha channel. We're gonna go to style, reflected, and then click reverse. And I don't know, you can slide the scales, you can see what it's doing. I like it probably right there, it looks good. And then I'm gonna click bevel and then contour. And see, that's kind of like a cheesy renderish bawk that we have right there. You can do any text for your team. So we're gonna click size. I'm just gonna pull that out to give it kind of that shine while not looking so three-dimensionally. I don't know, it just looks bad. I'll leave it at that. That looks pretty good. And then we're going to put an outer glow. I'm going to set that to that teal that we had before, like that. And that'll just give it a little effect outside. And that should be good. And now what we're going to do is put some text right here. And I'll put the size on 14. And I'll put the. So it's kind of like your, I don't know, maybe if you want to put like team in front of it or something like that. I don't know, that looks a little too small. That should be about right. And you know what, the bawk, that looks too small again, so I'm going to make that bigger. Probably a 60. Yeah, that should be good. And then this will be a little bigger too. And that'll be a 24, should be good. I'm going to move that like right on top of it, so it's like that. Okay, and then on the bottom, text looks good, so on the top we'll put some text effects like, I don't know if I really want a drop shadow, I might just want, let's look at some styles I had before. Something like that, where it's all black with an outer glow. I'm going to change the outer glow to orange like that, which, I don't know, that's a bit too much, so I'll put the opacity down a little, and then maybe a white stroke around it at 1, and then lower that opacity too. So it's like that. Okay. And now what we're going to do is make some wings behind our text. I'm going to drag that layer down so it's behind our text but in front of the hexagons or whatever you want to call those, the honeycomb. And I'm going to open a PSD. It's a wing. And they're pretty common. I mean, it's kind of generic, but this is just so you guys get a general idea. And this tutorial is mainly to help people who are trying to get into graphics but really don't know how to start, and I mean just looking for some guidance. I mean, once you get this down, you can start making your own stuff, get creative. We'll put that wing right there. That looks pretty nice. And now we're going to double click that for effects. And I'll put a drop shadow on it, and then we're going to click color overlay. And I think black will look good. And that's just for now. It's not going to be final. Then outer glow. And I'll make it that teal. Let's see if we can get it. There we go. That looks nice. Or that orange. And then, stroke doesn't really work on this. I'm going to put in a gradient overlay though. And then I'm going to change the color to maybe a I'll put it at full black, and then I'm going to lower the opacity a little so it's like shining like that. That looks pretty nice. And I put that at 85. And we can do a bevel and contour, but look at that, it kind of looks pretty cheesy, and then I don't really like it, so I'm not going to do it for this. And now for the text, we're going to do like a water reflection effect. So we're going to first right click, duplicate layer. and then you're going to click it, right click it, convert, or rasterdize type, and then convert to smart object, and then I gotta rasterize it. Okay, and then we're going to go on this tool down here. I'll wait for once again, it's right there, and then we're going to go to image or edit, transform, rotate 180, and then edit, transform, flip horizontal, and then we're going to click down on the keyboard and it'll move it down like that, as you can see. Okay, and now we're going to go to the gradient tool, which is right here, and you just go up and be sure to have it selected black to alpha, and it'll make that nice faded out watery effect right there, reflection I guess you could call it. And I mean, this is just a pretty simple one, so what I'm going to do now is just leave it at that and put a signature on it, which if you're making logos for people, it's pretty cool. Get the font Lunabar, it's free on dafont.com, and type in whatever you want it to say. So I'll type in Insanity GFX. Like that. Oh, I forgot the X. And I'm going to make that a little smaller, probably. It's too small. 12. Yeah, that looks good. I'm going to put it in the bottom corner like that. And then I'm going to set the opacity a little lower, so it kind of looks like it's faded. And that looks pretty good, and now you're set, and I hope this helped you. Please subscribe.